you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers.
A few moments later.
Yeah, I'm off. Can I kill him? Yo, let's... Yo, I fucking love this game.
I swear to God, I'm about to kill everybody.
Hold up, I gotta play some fucking W's and accept.
So he's better than you?
Yes.
And stacks more paper and gets more hoes than you, nigga?
Absolutely.
Let's fucking go, bruh. I love games that let me do this shit, dog. So the game that I completed on stream at twitch.tv/theblack-Hokage. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. I stream not every day, I stream like at least 5 days a week. Usually like early afternoon to the evening. Hit that follow button, hit the ring bell, twitch.tv/theblack-Hokage. I beat the Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds is a new space RPG from Obsidian Games. If you're unfamiliar with Obsidian Games, they are the creators of Fallout New Vegas, as well as, what was it, KOTOR 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2, I believe. And then they also created something else. They have a good pedigree for making good games. They're known mostly for RPGs. This is a space RPG. They're calling it like a spiritual successor to Fallout New Vegas. And I mean, that's the first thing I'm going to say about it. Like, first of all, if you want to know, yes, I do recommend the game. But second of all, if you like Fallout, you're going to enjoy this game because it's pretty much Fallout in space. What's the name? I wrote down 7 positives and 1 negative. And this is what I got to say about the game. First things first, story, not gonna spoil anything too much, but basically like you're somebody who stumbles upon like a space colony and needs some help. The government's doing dubious things, therefore you have to do tasks for other people, interact with other people and try to figure out what's going on in this colony, what type of experiments and stuff like that. And basically you get to shift the world of the space colony. But that's kind of like a very general version of it. First positive, the world. One thing I really love about this game is the world is very colorful. This is not a bland brown looking game. There's plenty of colors and all the creatures are really interesting looking. They got like space tigers and fucking space iguanas and shit like that. So the world is very colorful. It's very nice to look at. It's very sharp. The character design is pretty decent. The mouths, like the way they move, could use a little bit of decent work, but better work, but it's all right. But what I really love about this world is not only the characters are interesting, the colors and the actual like different environments are interesting, but this is like, I wouldn't call it an open world game, but maybe like a semi-open world game where like, it's kind of like Mass Effect where you get there's different missions on different planets with side missions and main missions. And each map is, you can explore and go any way that you want at any time. But the thing is, each map is kind of, it's not big, but it's not small either. It's kind of somewhere in between. So you never really felt overwhelmed. And that's kind of been my problem with a lot of games nowadays. Every game feels the need to be Assassin's Creed. Like that's the problem with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, you spend 30 minutes in a helicopter flying to your next mission. You get to the mission, you do some stupid escort mission, then you got to fly 30 minutes back. And in the whole time you're looking at nothing. Like this world is a little bit smaller and contained. It feels more alive because there's so many characters with so many different dialogue trees and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that they scaled back the world. I don't know if their original plan was to make it bigger. I just appreciate that they scaled back, made it a little bit more linear, but still gave you, it's one of those things where like, it's not big, but if you explore every nook and cranny, you'll find surprises. And you'll meet new characters, find new missions, and that's really dope. So it's one of those games where it's like it's like as big as you want it to be, if that makes sense. Like it has a very linear path, but then there's still a lot. It still gives you a little wiggle room, you know, to explore. So that's my first positive. I really like the world, the characters, and the colors. Second positive, deep customization. This game has crazy. I spent an hour creating my character, Aisha Uzumaki, and I gotta 2 points for the Outer Worlds, because y'all know I've been making videos like this is like become a trend recently, like in the black gaming community. I see a lot of people complaining about how we need more character customization options for like black characters. I've been saying this for years. If you go watch my dialogue, my videos on YouTube or whatever, but they have realistic looking dreads, the other realistic black haircuts. It's not just the standard afro. They have different skin tones, which look really nice. So if you're a black person or a person of color, you're gonna have fun being able to create an actual character that looks somewhat like you or whatever you want to create, because I created a woman. There's deep customization with the character creator. There's deep customization with the weapons. Because it's an RPG, you're going to constantly be picking up new weapons and trying out with new different like perks and abilities. But then also there's a workbench, so you can upgrade those weapons. You can add different like mods to it, like scopes and being able to swing faster and reducing the breakdown of the weapons, because the weapons do break down at a certain point and you have to repair them. But it sounds annoying, but it wasn't. Like, I think I used the stun baton like half the game. I think I repaired it maybe twice. Like, it's if you build it right, you really don't have to worry about that shit. Like I said, they got the workbench, the character customization is deep, and the weapon customization is deep, as well as you have like teammates and you can customize them and do all that stuff too. And then there's also like a skill tree with different like abilities, because I mean, it's an RPG, come on bro. So you know I love that deep customization. Third positive, there is dialogue trees. Y'all know I love any game with dialogue trees. This is a game where you get to choose your own adventure. There are dialogue trees. Everything is fully voice acted, so when you run into characters, you're gonna get different options of things you want to say, and based off those interactions, that's going to shape your story, which goes into another positive. There's replayability here because there's multiple endings. I forgot how many endings they said, but I'm pretty sure they said there was more than 2 endings. There's a bunch of different endings, and it's really cool because when you complete the game, it goes through and it shows you how your actions affected the world and how that's can change it, and you can go back and play it, whatever. But the dialogue trees, there's a ton, and then they have like, you can play like the good guy, you can play the intimidator, or you can just play the person who attacks everybody, and that's actually my 4th positive. I think I gave you 4 positives right there with the multiple endings. Yes, I gave you 4 positives already. Dialogue tree was 3, then replayability with the multiple endings is 4. So 5 would be, I know this sounds weird, this sounds fucking Joker homicidal, but you can kill anybody in this game.
To cleaning efforts.
All right, guys, you know what I gotta do. No rushing. Look at all this XP. I'm moving, damn. Bravo. If you follow me on twitch.tv/theblack Hokage, come through to the streams. I stream in the evenings for at least 5 days a week. Shameless plug. You would know I did a mass genocide playthrough. Boy, oh my fucking god. If you looked at me the wrong way, I killed you. If you fucking sneezed at me, I killed you. It was times where, like, I'm not gonna lie, because I do enjoy games with like dialogue trees, but I hate characters that just be talking for the sake of talking. It's not actually pushing the narrative forward, or it's not an interesting, funny side mission. So then you're just kind of talking. I'm like, dude, you talk too fucking much, bro. So then, like, you literally can just end the conversation and hit him upside the head with a fucking billy club, or shoot him in the fucking face. And depending, because like, it was plenty of times where, like, this is really cool because there was plenty of times where I literally murdered an entire town and I still was able to finish the game. I love it. There's plenty of missions where, like, I would talk to somebody and they would be like, oh, you need this card key to get into this room? Well, I need you to go do this for me. And I'm like, I'm not doing this fetch quest. So what I would do is I would just shoot them in the face, and then I would kill their guards and I would take the key card from them, rob them, and then I complete the mission. If I needed more XP, I would just go out into the world and I would kill like monsters to XP farm. So that was really cool that you can kill everyone in the game. I don't remember the last time a game, or if a game even let you. When I say anybody, I mean the civilians, the NPCs, the wildlife. It was a lot of fun. It did make the game a little bit harder because it's not fun when you have a bunch of armored guards inside of a city attacking. You literally have like 100 people. But if you upgrade your character correctly, use your slow down time and shoot people in the head, you'll be all right. Number 6, interesting characters. This is a world full of interesting characters. It actually made the game kind of hard to stream. This is one of the games that I struggle to stream because it is very dialogue heavy, so you have to be fooling. If you don't stream or make YouTube videos, this isn't going to be a problem for you. But the characters are interesting, and it's kind of hard to pay attention when you're streaming because you also want to pay attention to your chat. But for me, I was perfectly fine. For the most part, I would just really try to pay attention. There was some really funny dialogue. Like, there was like one storyline that kind of stood out to me. It was like a side mission. It was like when you were in a colony, it was a side mission and you had to help the dude. And the only reason they let him into the colony is because he posed as an engineer in that colony, or that camp. I mean, it needed an engineer, so they let him in, and he lied. He knew how to do like some basic mechanics or whatever, but they needed him to fix like some spaceships or some shit like that. So then you had to go on this mission where you had to find him like 3 engineering magazines so he could teach himself how to engineer, because he was nervous that he would get caught. for being a liar. I thought that was pretty funny. And that's a side mission. That's like no spoiler. And he was just acting really nervous and all this other stuff. So I thought that was pretty funny. And there's a lot of interesting characters. And my seventh and my final positive for this game is that, believe it or not, and it's really, really sad that I'm saying this in 2019, but this game is optimized. I got it on PC. Not a single problem. Not one stutter. Not one crash. Why did I put up 2 fingers? If you're watching the video version, I put up 2 fingers. I have problems. I don't know. I didn't have nothing, bro. I didn't run into any like crazy glitches. I'm not saying they're not in the game. I'm not saying you won't run into them. I'm just telling you from my personal experience, I didn't run into any game-breaking bugs. My game didn't crash. I wasn't dropping frames. And I was running the game on high, like it was in streaming it. This game was beautifully optimized on PC, so I would imagine that it's probably going to be optimized on console. And it's just, I feel like in 2019 we gotta give developers praise for putting a little bit of extra tender love and care in their games, because right now it seems like that's not the norm. It seems like we're beta testing every game that comes out, and this didn't feel like a beta test. This feels like a game that was made with love. This feels like a game that is as big as you want it to be. You can explore, you can just run through the story if you want to, or you can really take your time, upgrade your character, explore, kill big monsters, do the side missions, get to know the world and stuff like that. It's one of those games where like, if you just run through the story, you can beat it in like 20 to 30 hours. But if you really sit there and do like the side missions and stuff, it can be like 50 plus hours if you want it to be. So it's one of those games where it's like, it's as long as you want it to be. And I like games like that because time is of the essence nowadays. I don't have a lot of free time, so I appreciate it. Not this big, crazy open world RPG. I ended up beating this game in like a week and maybe like a half, like a week and some a few days. So not bad, not bad. If you're wondering why I have not mentioned any crazy negatives for this game, believe it or not, I sound like Goofy. I legit don't have like any crazy negatives. I literally like, so I really, this is one of the, I rarely, like I make show notes every time, but like I just put like little bullet points and I just kind of freestyle what I talk about. I really put some detailed notes for this show because I was reviewing this game. I didn't want to miss anything. And I literally had to sit there and think pretty hard, like, what negative do I have to say about this game? And the only negative I could come up with after fucking sitting there thinking is, and this is me I'm nitpicking. My one negative is there's like no mini map on the game, or there's no way to like access the map quicker. And the reason that matters is, I said, like, this is a semi-open world game. The maps aren't humongous, but they're big enough to where you do need to check the map here and there to make sure that you know where you're going you're going in the right direction. And in the game, you have to hit like the back button on the controller, and then you have to hit the right bumper over like 4 times in order to get to the map, and then look to see if you're going in the right direction. It would have been nice to have like a mini map on the lower left or right or whatever, somewhere on the screen where I can look to make sure that I know I'm going in the right direction, like a compass or some shit like that. But I mean, they had something at the top, but it wasn't a very good compass. It would have just been nice to have a mini map so I know where I'm going, or just a faster way to access a map, like being able to just hit the back button and go straight to the map. But having to press basically start and then scrolling over to several menus to get to the map just to check you're going in the right direction, it was a little annoying. It was, but that was a minor gripe. I got through the game. The positives will far outweigh the negatives. And because of that, you're probably wondering, well, what's my recommendation? Like I said earlier, yes, I recommend the game. Yes, it's worth $60, and I would argue this is easily one of the contenders for game of the year. Although I feel conflicted saying that, because it's like, to me, like I really haven't played that many great games in 2019. I still got to go back and play Astro Chain. Pretty sure that's going to be really good. I'm not playing Death Stranded because I know I'm not going to like that. But we're not. This is Outer Worlds review. We're not going to sit here and talk about all the other games. This is definitely a game of the year contender. If you're looking for a fun RPG, if you've never played an RPG, I don't know if this will be for you. You never played Fallout, you've never played Mass Effect, The Witcher. I don't know if this game will be for you. Go for it, maybe. But if you do enjoy RPGs like this is right up your lane. You're really gonna love this game. This is a game that was made with love, and I appreciate that. And I think it's important that we show that we appreciate the developers, man, because there's not enough of y'all out here creating games that just are fun. They work. They don't take all your fucking time up. And I had a blast. So shout out to the Outer Worlds. Highly recommend it.
And thanks for watching my video. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you'll never miss another video. Also, consider pledging my Patreon. It helps keep the lights on. There's a link in the description box below. Peace.